Hey guys, welcome to Comic Book Club. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I'm Pete.
And we have three awesome, fantastic issues to talk about.
Don't review them before we review them.
They are the best, and that's it. If you have a question, you can write us at the Comic Book Club, and that's the end of the show.
We won't even tell you what the issues are. They're out there.
DC Universe Halloween Special number 1,
Halloween.
Amazing Spider-Man 574, and Wolverine Manifest Destiny number 1. But before we get into that, special news for you guys. MTV is doing an episode of True Life called I'm a Fanboy. So they asked us to ask you guys if you're an aspiring artist or writer or somebody who wants to break into the comic book industry, also a big comic book fan, trying to shop your stuff around and want your story told on MTV, what you should do is write us at thecomicbookclub@yahoo.com and we will pass you along to the MTV folks.
We have the ear of music television, and so we are going to fill it with your names. So please tell
Yeah, definitely we're going to fill some ears. So let's move on, talk about the first issue here, DC Universe Halloween Special number 1.
Oh, Pete, did you get a phone?
I'm sorry, was that your wife calling?
Yeah, it was actually. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm glad you turned it off.
Other spooky things we can talk about, DC Universe Halloween Special number 1. What did you
Spooky
guys
that
think
Pete-
about this?
Well,
Spooky that Pete has a wife.
What I liked about
That's
it
scary.
is the fact that it's exactly what I thought the Halloween special was going to be. You know, there was a bunch of short stories that had to do with my favorite DC Universe characters.
Your favorite? Faust?
Well, you know, some of my favorite, you know, and then, you know, there was a lot of cool art, a lot of great stories. Yeah.
I love that they used Ralph and Sue Dibny as the wraparounds
Yes.
for all these. Really great, really smart choice. Characters that people haven't seen because they're dead. The stories are kind of like, oh, it's kind of scary, spooky. Some of them are good, some of them are mediocre. But the art across the board in all of these stories is fantastic.
Yeah.
Derek Robertson does a story, which is awesome.
That to me-
Duncan Rouleau does a story. He's great.
That was the best story for me. I wasn't crazy about last year's Halloween special, and this was less for me, frankly.
Yeah.
But Brian Reed and Derek Robinson's story is a lot of fun about two kids lost in the Gotham sewers on Halloween. Really enjoyable, great art from Derek Robinson.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Great last line from Ralph Dibny on that as well.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
Yeah, and plus there's a lot of fun stuff with the superheroes walking around during trick or treating. You know, there's a lot of fun back and
It's
forth.
their time to come out and play.
Yeah, where they can just hang out with normal people and be like, "Well,
That was
I'm
Gotham
wearing."
after midnight.
Well, no, there's stuff in here too. But yes, that. Was,
All right, guys, let's not fight about this.
Yeah.
The cover's nice as well. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So rip off the cover and then rip out Brian Reed's
Go to your
story.
comic book store, rip off the cover, say "fuck you,"
Say Comic Book Club sent you.
Yeah.
Say, Justin, Pete, and Alex told me to come into your comic book store and rip up all of your comics.
They know who we are.
Would you say?
We have a lot of comic book store owners' ear, and we're happy to fill it with your names.
Would you say pick it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, yeah.
I would say no. Let's talk about Amazing Spider-Man 574 with Flash Thompson born again. What do you guys think about this issue?
It's a great, touching story. Really cool stuff. Especially reading the last Mel.
The letters page.
Yeah, the letters page. Yeah,
Has
exactly.
a story. This is based on an actual soldier who was in Afghanistan in what happened to him, and it's a really sad story. And I can't believe that they put Flash Thompson through it, and it was great. I really loved it.
Yeah.
And the way that Flash Thompson kind of uses Spider-Man as an inspiration while he's fighting in Iraq, it's a whole thing.
There's a lot of talk online about this issue, I think, because it falls under the category of very special issues,
Definitely.
which comics tend to do extremely poorly.
Yeah.
As an example, when North Star came out in Alpha Flight, one of the
Terribly
worst
done.
handled issues of all time.
Yeah.
This is handled much better than that, and I think that is because Guggenheim pulls it from an actual real-life story. I
Yeah.
think that's a large part of it. That being said, and this is a massive spoiler, and for those of you who want a spoiler warning, spoiler going down the bottom, I'll put that in later or something.
Little editor's trick.
Yeah. What I do is I take out my voice, so I'll just be like, and you'll see a spoiler go on the
You should
bottom.
put some music over it.
In this day and age, where we're all very savvy about media, if you have a character and you don't show his legs, and you're like, oh, and he's a soldier, he probably doesn't have any legs. So
it wasn't that. Yeah, but that.
I will say, even though you can predict it as you're reading it, it's still a striking image when it happens.
Plus,
even though it's like,
it's more about the story more than the reveal.
I agree. I actually wish. The thing is, as I was reading that, the beginning and the end in particular, where you have this setup that's very obviously about him not having legs, and then at the end revealing he doesn't have legs, I wish that wasn't in there. I would rather have read this story, and even if, he had some sort of tissue damage, like they said, or something like that, that would have been even different for me. That would have been, it said he can't walk, he'll have to rehabilitate himself. But this, it felt a little bit like a shock. Surprise! Major character doesn't have legs.
Well, definitely. And I will say, though, once you get beyond that, the real emotional impact of this comic is reading the letters page and reading the way Steve Wacker writes it. Like, it's very
And the middle
emotional.
of the issue is very, very good.
Yeah.
It's great all around. I highly recommend checking it out.
And it's pretty interesting that this comes on the heels of such a huge, Spider-Man story. And then now there's whole other arc going, and this is just here. And I thought it was going to be kind of a fill-in type issue.
Yeah.
Instead, it's this huge emotional punch in my cold black heart.
I'm glad they did it.
Right?
Definitely.
I'm glad they did it.
Cool.
Yeah, pick it up.
All right, let's move on. Talk about Wolverine Manifest Destiny Limited Series 1 of 4. Of course, Wolverine is old, in the future, traveling in a car with Hawkeye. Crazy crap is happening.
Right.
No.
Well, that's actually not what this is about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wolverine is crossing over with X-Men Legacy and his son Dak.
No,
hold on a second.
You're kidding.
I'm sorry. Wolverine is going after the Ghost Box. And
No,
the rest of the X-Men.
that is Astonishing X-Men.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Wolverine's on the
is
team.
going after the Hellfire Club.
Oh no, that's another issue.
Oh.
Of Uncanny.
Wait, I'm sorry. So this is an entirely different series, a mini-series?
Okay,
because you demanded it.
I don't appreciate what you're doing there.
That was an honest interchange between two friends talking about.
I had some questions. I misunderstood what this issue was about.
No, you didn't. It's very clear.
Have you ever seen the movie Big Trouble in Little China? If you haven't, pick up this issue of Wolverine.
That is alright. Well, there's some similarities, but
and Kurt Russell, the part of Kurt Russell is being played by Wolverine.
It's a dream come true for some people. Anyways,
it's Kurt Russell's dream.
But
I always wanted Wolverine to play me.
all joking aside, this is a cool thing that they're doing. This is a fun limited series that they're
Tell
doing.
me how it's cool.
Well, first of all,
Is it better than the Wolverine one-shots that have been coming out every week before this?
Yeah, it is.
Because it's
first of all, tip of the head to Jason Aaron. Really great. This is just a cool little thing of setting up. I mean, Wolverine has such a clouded past, and all this stuff has gone down, and he's this well-known badass. This is a cool thing of he's going through his trinkets. And
He's a well-known badass.
Can I talk about X-Men Worlds Apart, the Storm miniseries that they're releasing right now? There's a thing where Cyclops gets in a big argument with Storm, where he's like, look, I don't like people going off and doing stuff. It really takes time away from the team. Like you, Storm, being out with T'Challa in Wakanda, and of course Wolverine being part of New Avengers. It really takes a lot of time away from the team. Doesn't really seem like it, does it?
Yeah, Wolverine.
Since, he does everything all the time.
He's very busy. The thing with this, reading this makes me think that Wolverine could walk into any town in the world and be like, I gotta settle some business here. He could walk into Boise, Idaho and be like, oh shit, there are a bunch of Yakuza warriors.
Well, he's so old, that could be true.
Well, that's insane.
No, I think this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. This is a great start to a story.
I will say, the writing is interesting. It's very much Big Trouble in Little China. He's in the Chinatown district of San Francisco.
He's not driving a truck. He's not talking about, what Wolverine does in a situation like
I would
this.
say, as a final little thing before we finish up today, this is definitely in the top 10 Wolverine series that's being released right now.
If you love Wolverine, you might like this series.
If you have a question for us, call us.
Would you say pick it up?
I don't care.
No.
Yes, Jason Aaron is a good guy, so definitely.
And the art is good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of snakes.
Write us at
Pick it up. It's a must pick up.
Don't yell.
Nobody said that. I said it was in the top 10 Wolverine series this week.
Must
write us at thecomicbookclub@yahoo.com. You can comment below, and if you're ever in New York,
You should please come down to our show Comic Book Club, which we do every Tuesday night at 8 at the People's Improv Theater here in New York. I'm Wolverine.
See you.
Good day.
Good day, sir.